Somewhere in the UK, a woman is sitting in her car after work. She has just received the news she has spent 3 years chasing. A promotion, a new role, a salary increase from £40,000 to £55,000 a year. An extra £15,000. She calls her mum, she calls her partner, she cries. Not because she is upset, because she is relieved. For the first time in years, it feels like the pressure might finally ease. 18 months later, she owes more money than she ever has. Not slightly more, almost double. £15,000 of debt has become £28,500 on a salary that is £15,000 higher. And the frightening part is this: nothing she did looked reckless. Most debt stories begin with something going wrong: a redundancy, a relationship breakdown, an illness, a boiler that fails at exactly the wrong moment. This story begins with good news. The kind of news people assume solves financial problems. Before the promotion, Hannah's finances were under pressure. Not catastrophic pressure, the sort that millions of people recognize. A credit card balance that never quite disappeared. An overdraft that had quietly become permanent. The feeling that every month required a small act of financial improvisation. Move money here, delay something there. Hope next month feels easier. Then came the promotion. And with it came a promise. A private promise. The kind people rarely say out loud. When the extra money arrives, I'll sort everything out: the cards, the overdraft, the stress, everything. The first thing Hannah changed wasn't extravagant. Neither was the second or the third. That's often how these stories work. Lifestyle inflation rarely arrives looking reckless. It arrives looking reasonable, a slightly better flat. Because you've earned it. A newer car. Because you've earned it. More convenience. Because you've earned it. A few meals out without checking the bill. Because you've earned it. The phrase repeats itself. I've earned it. And often, that's true. The problem isn't that people reward themselves. The problem is that debt is usually waiting patiently underneath those rewards. The promotion changed Hannah's income. It did not change her obligations. The minimum payments still arrived. The interest still accumulated. The balances still existed. But psychologically, something had shifted. For the first time in years, she stopped feeling behind. And once people stop feeling behind, they often stop behaving as though they're behind. Then came the first surprise. A £15,000 pay rise is not £15,000. Hannah did what most people do. She divided £15,000 by 12, about £1,250 a month. That became the number in her head. The number she planned around, the number she spent around, the number she expected to see. But she never received £1,250 a month. Part of the increase pushed her above the higher rate tax threshold of £50,270. A threshold that has been frozen and is currently set to stay frozen until 2031. National insurance still applied, and like many graduates in their 30s, Hannah was repaying a Plan 2 student loan. On part of that pay rise, she was losing around 51 pence of every extra pound before it ever reached her account. The increase felt like £1,250. The reality was much closer to £730. More than £500 every month existed only in expectation, not in reality. And expectations can be expensive, because people often spend according to the life they think they can afford, not the life they can actually afford. The promotion changed something else, something far less obvious. The offers started arriving: a new credit card, a higher limit, a pre-approved loan, car finance. The financial system reads a higher salary as a signal, not to reduce your debt, to offer you more. The better Hannah looked on paper, the more borrowing became available. That's the part most people miss. Earning more did not protect her from debt. It increased her access to it. The promotion wasn't simply happening alongside the debt. In some ways, it was helping create it. 18 months later, Hannah finally sat down and added everything up. Not during a crisis, not after a missed payment. Just an ordinary evening, a calculator, a payslip, a growing feeling that something wasn't right. The numbers looked like this. A Barclaycard balance of £9,400, charging 24.9% APR. The original debt she had promised herself she would clear. A second credit card, £4,800 at 23.9%. Opened after the promotion. A personal loan on a car, £12,900 outstanding at 12.9%. An overdraft, £1,400 at 39.9%. The total, £28,500, more than £12,000 higher than before the promotion. But the balances weren't the most important number. The monthly cost was. Each month, Hannah was paying roughly £710 towards these debts. That sounds like real progress, until you look closer. Of that £710, around £470 was interest. Only about £240 was actually reducing what she owed. She wasn't really paying off the debt, she was renting it. Look at the 2 credit cards alone. Around £370 a month went towards them. Only a fraction of that touched the balance. Most of it simply covered the interest. Then came the calculation that changed everything. The promotion had increased Hannah's take-home pay by roughly £730 a month. Her debts were costing her roughly £710 a month. Put those 2 numbers side by side. An extra £730 coming in, around £710 going straight back out. The entire pay rise, every pound that actually reached her, was already promised to the debt, before the money even arrived. The pay rise hadn't created freedom. The debt had already claimed it. And that was the moment everything changed. Because Hannah saw something most people never do. A person can feel wealthier while becoming financially weaker. It would be easy to look at this and decide Hannah was irresponsible, that she overspent, that she got a pay rise and wasted it. But that explanation is too simple. And it misses what actually happened. It wasn't greed, it wasn't stupidity, it wasn't irresponsibility, it was optimism. And optimism can be expensive. Especially after years of pressure, the promotion created confidence. The confidence created assumptions. Future Hannah would clear the cards. Future Hannah would deal with the overdraft. Future Hannah would sort it all out. But future Hannah became present Hannah. And the debt was still there. Only now it was bigger. Because confidence had arrived before a plan. If any of this feels familiar, there is one thing worth holding on to. You do not need to solve everything tonight. You do not need a spreadsheet. You do not need a 5-year plan. You need the truth. The whole truth. All of it in one place. For a lot of people in the UK, that starts with a free debt assessment from Step Change. You can find them at stepchange.org. Not because they have every answer, but because debt grows in the dark. And clarity is almost always the first step out of it. Not the last step, the first. Somewhere in the UK tonight, somebody will receive a promotion. Somebody will open an email. Somebody will see a larger number than they have ever seen before. And for a moment, they will feel relief. Perhaps they should. But perhaps they should also remember this. A pay rise is not a solution. It is an opportunity. And an opportunity brings more than income. Sometimes more tax. Sometimes more borrowing power. Sometimes more temptation. Sometimes all 3 at once. The salary can change overnight. The financial system around it does not. And sometimes the difference between those two things is worth thousands of pounds. Because behind every balance is a person. And behind every number, there's usually a story.